If I said this was one of the most sensible electric cars of 2026, I'm sure many would agree. But if I said there's one thing that might put you off buying it, it's something that's rarely discussed. Today, we'll take a look at the 2026 Kia EV2 without the hype. Is it truly the ultimate EV solution, or does it just look ideal on paper? From its first introduction, the EV2 seemed to promise something many had been waiting for, an electric car that didn't feel cheap but also didn't try to be expensive. The design was futuristic without being outlandish, the dimensions were compact without feeling cramped, and the positioning was clear. This is an EV for the real world. From the outside, the EV2 looks modern in a clean way. The body lines are simple but sharp. The headlights have the signature Kia signature of the latest generation, and the proportions feel well proportioned for a city car. It doesn't try to look aggressive like a high-performance EV, but it's not boring either. It has a strong enough character without being overdone. Once inside the cabin, the impression is immediately positive. The interior feels minimalist, bright, and quite spacious for its size. The dashboard is neat, the digital display is modern, and the layout feels intuitive. There aren't many physical buttons, but it's not overly confusing either. The materials aren't premium, but they feel solid and not cheap. For a car in this class, the quality is above expectations. Rear legroom is also quite reasonable, even for adult passengers on medium trips. The trunk is practical for everyday needs. So, what's it like to drive? In the city, the EV2 feels perfectly at home. Pedal response is instant as typical for EVs. There's no lag, no engine noise, just a smooth push that makes the car feel light and agile. The steering is light at low speeds, making it easy to maneuver in parking lots or narrow streets. The suspension is quite comfortable for a compact EV. Small potholes and speed bumps are absorbed well, although on very rough surfaces, you can still feel the characteristic lightness of a car. What's interesting is how stable the EV2 feels despite its small size. At medium speeds, the car doesn't feel wobbly, and when taken to the highway, it remains composed, though it's certainly not a car for extreme speeding. Acceleration is quick enough for everyday use. It's not brutal, but it's enough to give you confidence when overtaking. It's a fun EV without trying to be sporty. So why do I say it's almost perfect? Because despite all its advantages, there are a few things that start to become apparent when you look more closely. First, the range is realistic, but not the best in its class. For daily city use, it's more than adequate, but for those who frequently travel long distances, you'll still need to plan your trips more carefully. Second, while the interior is modern, some finishing details still indicate this is an entry-level EV. It's not distracting, but it's noticeable when compared to Kia's more expensive models. And third, perhaps most noticeable, is how the car still relies heavily on the charging ecosystem. If the infrastructure in your area isn't yet mature, the EV2 experience can feel less practical than a hybrid or a regular gasoline car. However, it's important to consider the context. The Kia EV2 was never designed to be the best electric car in every way. It was designed to be a sensible EV, and in many ways it succeeds. This car feels like a bridge to a broader electrified future. It's not intimidating, it's not overly expensive, and it doesn't feel experimental. It feels mature, ready to go, and quite attractive in terms of design. Once you drive it for a few days, you start to realize something. The EV2 isn't trying to wow you all the time. It just makes your life simpler. There's no engine vibration, no harsh noise, no fuel consumption to think about every week. And perhaps that's precisely where its perfection lies. But still, almost perfect doesn't mean without compromise. For some, those compromises are minor. For others, they could be the deciding factor. So is the 2026 Kia EV2 worth considering? If you're looking for a modern, comfortable, and realistic compact EV for everyday use, the answer is very likely yes. But if you're looking for extreme range, aggressive performance, or high-end luxury, you might want to look at a higher-end model. The 2026 Kia EV2 is a simpler glimpse into the future. It's not the flashiest, it's not the most powerful, but perhaps it's the most relevant for many people. And sometimes, the most nearly perfect car is the most honest.